First word we have is deem. Oh yeah, you all have the definitions. So obviously you have the definition, but can anyone use the word deem or give a definition in their own words? Have an idea of what that means?
Consider.
Yes, it does mean consider. Or it obviously says to regard as. But it's sort of like an opinion. You know, you consider something, but also an opinion. Like if you have the example sentence, I don't know. But it says South Korea's first female president is now deemed a disappointment by many. So yeah, it's probably true. But obviously that she's seen as a disappointment, but that would be people's opinion. So yeah, so it's not like necessarily a literal fact. It's still based on opinion. Resonate. So obviously it says to be understood. But when I think of the word resonate, I think, it's something that is understood, but deeply understood. Yeah, something that stays with you. So if I said, if you told me something very important or impressive, I would think, wow, that really resonates with me. I feel a special connection, or I feel it deep inside.
Is it good way or bad way?
Well, it's neither really. It could be used both ways, I suppose. Like, for example, let's say you had a very difficult childhood, and I had a very difficult childhood, and you told me something that happened to you, it'd be a very negative thing, but I say that really resonates with me because I understand very well. Yeah. But it could also be positive as well. You can use it as a positive situation. When Eric does this, does he usually do this the same way, the vocabulary? Does he tell you the definition? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Hello. All right. Now, oral tradition. Kind of going back to your story, even though it was a book, like oral tradition is something passed down through storytelling. So, a lot of the old Bible stories are passed down just by storytelling, elders telling younger people. Where I'm from, whenever I hear oral tradition, I usually think of Native Indian people, Native Americans, Native North Americans, because generation after generation, the older people would tell their stories about the meaning of life or why something happens to younger people. And then they would tell, when they grow older, they tell the same stories. So that would be oral tradition. I'm sure there are a lot of older traditions in the history of Korea, I would imagine. Especially when you hear stories like fables or like, I don't know, something like Honggu and Nogu, something like that. And venture, talking about business, it's usually when, if someone's going to say, I'm going to start or begin, a business venture, perhaps they're opening their own business or making a big financial commitment to a business or an investment in something. So hoping that you're going to have a big, gain big profit or have a big return on investment on your business venture. So it's just entering the business market. And business endeavor, number 5, is almost a synonym, really. It's very similar. And it says, it says purposeful or industrious business activity. Well, really it's the same thing. It's it could be initially entering the business world, starting a business, investing in a business. So you're going on a new path, like a new business or for the first time. So I would say business venture, and business endeavor are essentially the same thing. And to go down to superstitious, I think every place, every country has their own special superstitions. So obviously in this video they're talking about Friday the 13th. Is that a superstition in Korea as well? Not really?
Not really. Yeah.
Superstition.
I mean, yeah, Friday the 13th.
We always think of it as a bad luck day. So yeah, but there are a lot of other superstitions. Isn't the number 4
Yes.
special in Korea? Right. So it's probably not a real thing, but it's a superstition people have. So I think that kind of speaks for itself, but it's believing something that has no base in fact. It's not real, but we tend to pass it down too from generation to generation. And to get in on the action. So yeah, that's an idiom we could use today. So if I want to, it just means getting involved in something. So often I think of gambling. People will go to the casino or something and they're spending money, or there's a game and they, well, I want to get in on the action. Okay, here's my money. I want to make a bet. So that's just one example. You can use it in many situations, but it's just something exciting happening and you don't want to watch, you want to get involved. So you want to get in on the action. So like this class, new student, I wanna learn English. I wanna get in on the action. If they saw this class from outside, oh, I want to get in on the action. I want to study English too. So you could use it that way as well.
Does this expression sound textbookish?
Sorry, textbookish?
Yes.
What? Get in on the action?
Yeah, I'm just asking.
No, not really. I've definitely said it before, many times. If there's something I thought was interesting or fun. Yeah. No. Does anyone have any questions about these words?
Could you explain the business endeavor again?
Business endeavor?
Yeah.
Sure.
Effort to do some business?
Well, yeah, that's exactly what it means. I'll give you an example. I don't know if you've heard of this business, but I have 2 friends who opened a delivery service in Seoul. It's called Shuttle. Anyway, so most of their restaurants are based around the Itaewon area, but they deliver around most of the city, most of Seoul. And so when they were starting, they showed me their business plan, and they said, this is our new business endeavor. They had no experience, but they thought, let's try this. So it's just trying to get involved, trying to maybe perhaps start a business or make an investment. So I don't know really how else to explain it, but except for it's just getting involved and starting to do something. Yeah, there might be risk, but it's not in terms of like, let's say you run a business, you have a business, and you just continue working at your business. It's more like initially, in the beginning, a new business endeavor is how we would use it. Yeah, if you've been doing it for 10 years, it's just your business. Anything else? Any other questions?